The big news story, though, breaking overnight, Kamila Valieva, the 15-year-old figure skating sensation for ROC. She has been officially cleared to compete by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. She failed a test for a banned substance, tested positive for a heart medication back on Christmas Day 2021, but she is going to be allowed to compete in the women's event, which begins tomorrow. The IOC, though, coming out with a statement after the CAS decision and saying if she finishes in the top three, she's in fact heavily favored to win, there will not be a medal ceremony during the games. There's going to be further investigation of this situation. But the court has announced that she will be allowed to skate. They came out very late, very early, overnight, 1 a.m. Eastern, and within minutes of that decision, there she was back on the ice. Anthony Germain is following the story as part of our news team in Beijing.
Well, essentially, it's an issue of fairness based on 3 points. One, that she did not test positive for anything she shouldn't have had in her system here at the Olympics. Two, she's 15, and there are special rules that are more lenient for minors. And then there's the timing, that it was just fundamentally unjust to have this come up during these very games. Here's the Director General of the court.
The Court of Arbitration for Sport, actually the ad hoc division of the court, has issued its decision in the procedures relating to the figure skater Kamila Valieva, the athlete who did not test positive during the Olympic Games in Beijing, but is still subject to a disciplinary procedure on the merits following her positive anti-doping test undergone in December 2021. In particular, the panel considered that preventing the athlete to compete at the Olympic Games would cause her irreparable harm.
So on that test, Heather, the issue has to be, or as was mentioned today, was it just doesn't seem quite legit that it took so long to actually get those results, and so they basically come down in her favor.
So there has been considerable reaction, Anthony, from Global Athlete, from WADA, and from the IOC. A statement from the IOC, its executive board, just a short time ago, saying it's an inconclusive situation is one of the phrases in the statement, and deciding that there will be no medal for Valieva, regardless of whether she wins. So tell us more about the IOC position on this.
Well, it's been, a heck of a day here in Beijing with things moving so rapidly. But what's really interesting about that, and I think tragic for skating, is that it's not just a question of a medal for her. No one will get a medal if she finishes in the top three. That's in combination with the fact, as we already know, there'll be no medal for the team event. So there we have possibly two medals, in limbo if she decides that she's going to compete. There's no reason to think that that's not going to happen. But earlier in the day, before this happened, the IOC spokesman, Mark Adams, who got quite frustrated, said that no matter what, the IOC was going to abide by and respect this decision. Have a look.
What I can tell you is that we will follow the decision absolutely, because that's our job. We have to follow the ruling of CAS, and we will follow that decision to the letter. Whether sometimes we like decisions, sometimes we don't like decisions, but it's like the law in any country. You should follow it.
So they're following the decision, Heather, but also now they've added this new twist. Okay, we'll follow the decision, but no medal for her if she's in the top three. So this story just keeps getting stranger. We're kind of shifting from controversy now and drifting into a scandal.
And is there any further reaction from any individuals or bodies that we should know about, Anthony? I know this is going to continue today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's start with the Americans, because they were the most outspoken. They posted something on Twitter that I think people should take a look at, because this is setting the tone for where this is going to go. So if you take a look at what the Americans had to say on Twitter, I've got it right here. We're disappointed by the message this decision sends. Athletes have the right to know that they're competing on a level playing field, and it appears to be another chapter in the systematic disregard for clean sport by Russia. So the Americans not pulling any punches. Canada put out a statement similar, expressing disappointment. And then there are the Russians who've said, let's go back to the lab and figure out what happened there, because the steps between the test on Christmas Day to where we are now is really the chronology that is most important. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's where this investigation goes, because, Heather, we had basically Valieva testing on Christmas, and here we are Valentine's Day, and we have an Olympic figure skating competition that's basically in chaos here in China.
That's Anthony Germain, part of our reporting team in Beijing.